I don't know what that did. I don't know. Something went red though. That's weird. You ever puff your own farts? Kind of think, hey, my farts don't smell that bad. They do smell a little like potpourri, if I do say so myself. In fact, I remember one day when I was still working in the cubicle jungle, I had a 1-hour drive to work in LA. I think I was 15 miles away, but it took me an hour to get there. And on this particular day, I think I might have had some burritos digesting in my stomach from the night before, and as a result, I was pretty gassy. And as I'm sitting in traffic just listening to K-Rock and silently farting myself silly, I basically filled my entire car with my butt gas. And I just remember laughing to myself at the funny farts and whiffing them as just like, my farts don't smell. They actually smell kind of fun. I mean, if anybody else smelled these farts, I think they would be like, yeah, I think these farts smell fun. Then I got to work, and I went upstairs, and I was sitting at my desk, and this woman that I had a mad crush on looked at me, and she said, it's your turn to drive me to Starbucks to pick up the coffee from my department, and if you do, I'll give you a coffee as well. And basically what she would do is, every Friday, she'd find somebody new in the office to give her a ride down to Starbucks and get this big-ass motherfucking order of coffees, bring her back to the office. It was now my turn. I had looked forward to this day for months because I knew that at some point she would look at me and go, I need you, baby. And that was going to be my moment, It was quality time together in the same car. I had been waiting for this moment. And at that moment, I also remembered that I had farted myself silly on the way to work. Thank God I remembered. Because sometimes I did this and I didn't even remember by the time I got to work. I wonder, did I smell like a motherfucking fart as I was walking down the hall to my office? Because I had been basically soaking in my own, not juices, but something approaching juices all the way to work. And on this particular day, thank God I remember. I remember running downstairs, out into the parking lot, out to my car, throwing open the door, and immediately getting hit with a wall of farts. And these farts did not smell good because I was not smelling them through my nose anymore. I was smelling them through her nose. And I freaked the fuck out because by the time I realized what my car smelled like, she was coming down the steps and I had to do something. What did I do? I just pretended that the car wouldn't start. I just put it in neutral and then I pretended to start it, and she looked at me and she's like, okay, well, I'll just go get somebody else to give me a ride. Okay, boom. I put the car back in park and went about my life, and she never did ever come back and ask me to give her a ride to Starbucks. Opportunity missed. But at least she did not get into a car that was full of my farts and go, oh my God, this is all from your butt. But I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she thought that no, there's no way that she would have thought that was cool. So yes, it was a good thing that she did not get into the car, because to this day she would be saying, oh man, there was this one time this guy was going to give me a ride down to Starbucks. I got in his car, completely smelled like burrito farts. I mean, there was not room for me in that car. It was all full of burrito farts. Live and learn. But I will say that my farts do smell kind of good. Thing is, my girlfriends never agree. Although early on in the relationship, you can get away with bloody murder. Because they still want to fuck you. Or they haven't fucked you yet, but they want to. And they will not be deterred by farts. But after they get sick of your shit, and you fart in front of them, suddenly they're like, you realize that there's fecal matter in those farts, and when you fart in my face, you're basically throwing tiny pieces of shit in my face? I'm saying, yes, I knew that. That's why I farted in your face, baby. And turnabout's fair play. I mean, they fart in our face, too. I mean, come on. There's been many a times that I'd gotten up, and in doing so, a well-timed fart was waiting for me when I happened to put my face just a little too close to their nether region. Proving that women can be dicks just like dudes, but it's funny too. I mean, you know, farts are not only weapons, but they're funny. There's a lot of people that try to claim their sophistication by saying that they don't like fart jokes or farts or anything to do with human gas. And I call bullshit on those people. Anybody who doesn't find burps or farts funny, they're just not human. I literally want them to be sliced open just so we can see that they are a fucking robot. Or some sort of replicant. They sure as hell aren't human. It's not possible. Absolutely not possible. Farts and burps are funny. Have you ever burped or farted during a job interview? I don't think I have, but I have literally sat on my own turds during a job interview. I mean, I had to go so bad that I'm amazed that I didn't do that thing, you know, like Randy in South Park, where you're like, But I made it through the interview. On my way out, found a bathroom, completely stank the joint up. And this was not the potpourri kind. This was the all-out biohazard, throw down a yellow cone immediately after I leave shits. Speaking of which, I think I gotta take one around, so I'm gonna do my thing. If I can find this goddamn